Hey guys, wanted to make a quick little video about something that is kind of maybe a bit personal. I don't know. I don't know if this is really anything at all. It's just an idea that I had that I couldn't get out of my head and I needed to just make it. So this is going to be kind of like a video game, like spoken word diary or something. I don't know. But hey, if you end up liking it, maybe like and subscribe and all of that stuff. Also, side note, there's actually, and you'll see why, but this is weirdly poetic. There is somebody outside right now, cutting down a tree. So if any of that gets picked up on my mic, I apologize. I was gonna just wait and record it until later. I was like, actually, that's kind of weirdly poetic, and here's why. So earlier this week, Nintendo revealed the next wave of courses for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack. I think that's it. Gosh, that's a mouthful. They should truncate that. And one of the tracks revealed was Maple Treeway, of course, from Mario Kart Wii, maybe the most iconic track from Mario Kart Wii. And certainly one of my favorite tracks from Mario Kart Wii. And for some reason, seeing this track like come to Mario Kart 8 made me weirdly emotional. And this video is going to kind of explain why, I guess. I can already hear the comments. You know, I can already see them coming in. I'm bracing myself. Oh, bro, over here getting emotional about Mario Kart. So, I get it. But hear me out, okay? In the fall of 2007, I got my first real job working at GameStop as a temporary holiday hire, and I was just this like young, shy, unsure of himself kid, and working there was my dream. I had stars in my eyes. I thought I was going to work there the rest of my life. I was just so excited to be around and talk about video games and get paid for it, and I absolutely loved my job when I first started. I worked as hard as I possibly could. I picked up every single working hour that I could, and eventually, after the holidays were over, they asked me to stay on permanently, and within 3 months of that, I was promoted into management, which was a lot. It was like, man, like people like me here, and I'm good at this, and people trust me with this, and that was a feeling that, I had never had before. I would end up continuing to love the job, climbing up the ranks. I ended up working there for about 7.5 years. And that job, in many respects, was terrible, especially by the end of it. But I will always say that I owe GameStop a ton for my personal growth and development as a person. Not only because I was like really young when I started working there, I was one of the youngest people in the company to enter into a managerial role. But before I started working there, like I said, I was just shy and like unsure of myself, had massive like self-esteem issues. I wasn't confident. I faked confidence, but I mean, I couldn't even look people in the eyes when I talked to them. I had like intense social anxiety, and working there helped me overcome it because it was this kind of like sense of place and unity that I never really had before then. It was, hey, you have to know how to look people in the eyes. You have to talk to people and sell them on stuff, and you have to you have to deal with crowd anxiety, because back then, it's not really like this now, but back then that store would get jam-packed, especially around the holidays. So it was sort of being thrown into the deep end with no floaties, and it's just like, hey, sink or swim. And I learned how to swim. I always sort of kept a small circle of friends too, but like my friends and my GameStop coworkers that I made, there, they kind of felt like family to me. And like even podcasting and like making stuff, that's because of GameStop. Like because of GameStop, I recorded my first ever podcast. My co-host on All In and Nintendo podcast, Eric, I met him because I worked at GameStop. So like many of the formative moments of my life that shaped who I am today happened in that era, and because that's like an era of my life that I hold really, really dearly because of it. So after the dust sort of settled on the 2007 holiday and I was asked to become full-time, asked into management and everything, Mario Kart Wii was the first major Nintendo release of the following spring 2008. And I was always like the Nintendo guy over there, actually probably the only employee there who even had a Wii at all. And I just remember, I had an Xbox 360 and I eventually got a PlayStation 3, but everybody else had already moved on to the other platforms. They had to pry the Wii from my cold, dead hands. I'm still playing, like, Call of Duty World at War on the Wii, you know, when I really just should have moved on. But I remember I had the day off when Mario Kart Wii came out, and I remember being there when the store opened. Again, just this young kid, smug look on my face, kind of finally feeling confident in myself, I guess, for the first time in my life, and you could tell. And I guess I was just smug because I knew I was there optionally that morning. And I just remember buying my copy. You know, it comes with like that racing wheel and everything, and I took it home to my parents' house where I still lived at the time because I was still a baby. And I played it all day long with my little brother and sister, who were actually babies at that time. And it's just funny to think back on, because now, like, my little brother is in college, and my little sister's in the Air Force, and I haven't worked at GameStop in nearly a decade now, and I haven't lived at home with my parents in a long, long time, and it just sort of, like, I don't know, it just, that passage of time is really apparent, and just the way we've all sort of grown as people, and what that area of my life sort of represented, and that kind of nice, sweet moment on launch day, having the day off and just like sitting around the TV with my little brother and sister playing Mario Kart Wii. And you know, Mario Kart Wii is fairly objectively on the lower tier of Mario Kart games for me, but it'll always be super special to me because of that period of my life that it sort of reminds me of or represents. This just like cozy, formative time that I really look back on and appreciate now in my older age. So seeing the most iconic track from Mario Kart Wii sort of thrust into 2022 just makes me sort of appreciate that passage of time. I didn't realize back then how much those Maple Treeway memories would mean to me now, but today I'm able to, if you'll pardon this pun, I'm able to see the forest from the maple trees. So anyway, again, I don't know if this is anything, but I just had to get it out of my head and make it. Maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't like it, I don't know, you're gonna let me know in the comments. But if you have any like kind of similar memories like this, I would love to hear your stories and your memories. If it's about Mario Kart Wii, if it's about Maple Treeway, even if it's not about Maple Treeway, I just, I don't know, I feel like I can't be the only one that kind of looks at games and thinks about them a lot and sort of defines eras of my life and kind of marks the distance with the games that I was playing during those eras. So I don't know, let me know if you like this, you know, again, that like and subscribe is super appreciated. And if you want to see more stuff like this, I think this is something I could continue to do. You know, I don't know. I don't know if this is anything, but I had to try it and I just had to make it. So, yeah. Until next time, guys, I hope you all have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving if you're in America and you're celebrating. I love you all. We will see you in the next video. Take care.